Hey guys, this is William with another video for Play-agricola.com's YouTube channel and twitch.tv/play_agricola. I'm playing an EIK WM France Deck G456 game with Doe Academy, Intel, and Astaroth. Not sure if Doe Academy is streaming this game, but should check out Doe Academy. Certainly streams on occasion, so check them out. I think it's twitch.tv/Doe Academy. Where is it? I have it here somewhere. Yeah, Doe Academy. Yeah. And I'll put a link in this description for YouTube. Also, more news. Maruska has developed a really cool, I believe this is a Firefox extension or a Chrome extension. Maybe both, where it's going to be good for you guys, the viewers, where if there is a card on screen, you should be able to click on it and bring up the text, and then you'll be able to see, like, read the card without explicitly, like, me having to do it without having to pause the video. I haven't tried it yet. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but I'll be talking about that. Hopefully we can get Maruska some useful feedback and make it into a really awesome tool, because certainly the text of the cards is one of the most important parts of the game. Looking at this first pile, I see Head of the Family, so I don't really think anything else is better than this. Henkeeper is okay, but really the pick is just Head of the Family. Fence Dealer coming back would be great. Sheep Farmer, Storehouse Keeper, I'm happy with any of these. Storehouse Keeper, not so much, but Fence Dealer, Sheep Farmer, I'd be pretty happy with either of those. Next up, so one of the things Head of the Family doesn't do particularly well is take start player early. So a card like Circus Manager guarantees that I can still play my occupations, even if I don't get on the occupation space that much. Pasture Lover. If you build pastures, you can pay fewer building resources when you build a wood room. That's pretty interesting. Wood Collector is just a classically really solid card. Let's try Circus Manager, I think. I think that's the pick here. And then there's Tutor. Yeah, so Tutor feels like a pretty good payoff. However, Village Druid is also interesting. One of the things that Head of the Family wants is really easy ways to get a lot of food. So the question is sort of Village Druid or Tutor. I think I can take Tutor. With Circus Manager, I have a pretty solid path to playing a 5-point Tutor. Play Circus Manager, then Tutor. Yeah, I like Village Druid, but it's a little more situational than Tutor, just slightly. So we're going to have to figure that out. So yeah, we're going to have to figure out exactly how this extension works. I'm going to have to figure out how to do chat commands, because what I'd ideally like to do is have be able to go in, people go into chat and type, like, where is my chat? And type like !Montu, and then it would have a link to Montu's stream, and like !extension would be good as well. So yeah, here's you can go onto the forum. It's under general Agricola Twitch extension for streamers, and you click here and it takes you to extensions. Now I thought this is Twitch extensions, but I think there's no way to add it from here. I think it's a browser extension, and the way it works is that when I have this card, you're going to be able to click on it and pull up stats and look at the text and stuff. I think that's the idea. So then you'll be able, like, I'll have this view without the Master Brewer, and you'll be able to click the card, pull up the Master Viewer text. Cool. Restless Father looks pretty good. With Head of the Family, I'm pretty much a slam dunk to build to family growth 3 times, so 3 fields for no cost. Well, just the cost of the occupation seems solid. Borrower, also very good. Yeah, you might be able to download it right now and try it out, HIKLJ, which would be actually would be fantastic if we could give Maruska a bit of feedback. So for me, I was able to install it by going to my add-ons, and for Firefox, I got it in here, and so it's called Agricola Card Tracker, and so then you can see. So if you want to give it a try this game and let me know how it works. Yeah, I think Mariska's been working on this as like a passion project for a bit, which is awesome. So Borrower is pretty solid with Head of the Family. It's like actually really fantastic. I think Restless Father also does exactly what we want it to do. So I think we take Restless Father here. This pick, probably not Kakot. Although Outrider's not particularly good for me. Like, when am I going to want to play Outrider? On Family Growth, even without room? Probably if I can Family Growth. If Family Growth comes around 7, what are the odds I get Outrider out in time? Because I have to play 3 occupations before that. So probably not very good. I think a card like Sheep Farmer is just very solid. Much more likely to be useful. And Wood Collector came back for some reason. That card is really good. So yeah, we'll very happily take Wood Collector. And then this pick, I guess Racing Stable Manager in case I get some kind of combo that's better than Restless Father. Okay, these miners are not great. Probably Pastureland is the pick. Although Sunday School is not too bad with Tutor. It's a bit worse with Circus Manager, I think. Yeah, Pastureland's pretty solid. If I could set up a double build, double grow, then I can use Pastureland, on Family Growth pretty nicely. Put it on spaces that other people can't use. So, what do we got here? Almshouse is fantastic. Apiary is quite good. Astaroth says I'm passing a lot of good stuff. Yes, you are. Don't need keys, obviously. So for me, it's Almshouse or Apiary, one of those two. Almshouse or Apiary. Restless Father seems to work with Apiary nicely. Almshouse, though, is just... It's just a fantastic card. It's a really fantastic card. It'll let me spam occupations early and spam family growth early, which are two things that I will definitely want to do. Yeah, so I think the idea is, and I'm not really sure, what's this? Is this blue dot the extension maybe? Or this green dot? Is that showing that the extension is working? I almost need to pull up it, open another, like I tried to add it on Chrome. Did you enable the extension for your channel? So what happens when I click on it is I click on it here and it takes me to this page and I can't do anything here. There's no ad or anything. I can't add it. So I don't know if it's a Firefox Chrome extension that only works with Twitch or if it only works with Firefox. I'm a little confused about how exactly it works. So we're still figuring that out. So like I got my Chrome open here, and we'll try adding this. Okay, and then if we go to my... So I should have some cards on the stream. Oh, so I need to make sure I put cards on the stream. Okay, so let's get rid of this. So I'll try to look at like head of the family or something. So I'll go to my Twitch channel. My understanding was that I should be able to like click on here and be able to see it, but I'm not totally sure how these work. I think we're still figuring it out a little bit. Do I need to make it bigger? Or is it something that I need to do on my end? Try clicking and then go back. There's 2 tabs for activated and installed. Okay. Installed, activated, manage permissions. So if I go to discovery, like the thing is when I search for it, I don't even see it in here. So I feel like there's something there. We're missing something here. We're missing something. Like when I click on here, there's something missing. Yeah. We're still figuring it out. Yeah, and I can go to my extensions tab and I'm not able to search it on there. I'm not able to pull anything up. Allow some kind of permission. Well, yeah, to enable it so that I can, yeah, so that people can install it or something like that. Yeah. We're missing some step here. So yeah, not totally sure how exactly it works, but very interested to try it out. Like I don't know if it's going to scrape data off of the flash or if it's scraping data off of like if it's scraping data off of Play-agricola to see, hey, there's a game active. Okay, what cards are in that game? What cards have been drafted, for example. There are a bunch of really good cards here. Crib is good for NERFG. Extensive Resume is good with Tutor, I think. Woodcart is quite a solid card for head of the family. Village School is very good overall. What should I take here? I'm getting a card back out of here, right? And the 3 are probably going to be like Birdcage Game, Village School, which are the 3 or like Birdcage, Wild Game, Woodwork, which are the 3 I'm least interested in. Extensive Resume could be 3 points pretty easily with Tutor. It gives me an extra reason to play all my occupations. But Woodcart is extremely solid. Obviously, it buffs up your wood grabs. It's going to help me very easily fence nicely and build stables and build wood rooms. Yeah, we should probably just take Woodcart, I think. Probably what we should do. I think Crib is pretty solid. Crib maybe will come back. There's a chance. Not going to take Guest Plow because I have Restless Father. Probably just take Farm Stable here. Farm Stable is a good card. Very good card. Free point. A couple incidental food. None of these are all that exciting. Don't think I need any more plows, so I'm not going to take Field. Don't think I'm going to take Cattle Market. Cops is really bad. So for me, it's between Guest and Night Bazaar. Guest is 2 food for an action. I have a feeling that that's not going to be worth it for me. I'm probably going to be fairly tight on food at a lot of parts of the game. So I think something like Night Bazaar, though, the ability to grab a reed and a wood, for example, to pay for Almshouse could be pretty Pretty key. Um, hmm. Well, not wood-fired oven, not wine closet. No way of getting grains, so not wood-fired oven. Wine closet is pretty expensive and pretty under. It underperforms for how expensive it is. So for me, it's cooking hearth or abandoned willow. Now, abandoned willow kind of works with racing stable manager in that you pay wood for stables, you get fields from doing it, and then you return the field to make it like neutral overall, but of course you've used a bunch of actions. So cooking hearth, if I'm going to go for the first fireplace, looks quite solid, although we do know that village druid is out there, so the first fireplace is going to be fairly heavily contested. I think abandoned willow is okay. An okay option. Yeah, we figured this is what was going to come back. Not birdcage. I think birdcage is pretty expensive for what it does. Wild game with pasture land seems playable. Yeah, no extensive resume, unfortunately. Wild game with pasture land, as long as I get the boar, seems playable. It lets me eat boar without actually having a fireplace, so that could be a good option. If we could time it out with pasture land and family growth or something like that. But I also have Alms House to play, I have Woodcart to play. I'm gonna have a lot to do this game. So hopefully we get the moves that we want. We want occupation. We want, well, not occupation. We want traveling players. We want good room resource actions. We want good clay actions so that we can build a fireplace or a cooking hearth. So Nathan and I were doing, we just did 2 runs of best of 1 draft on Magic Arena, and went 5-3 in the first one and 6-3 in the second one. So that's good. That's better than I normally do. Nathan's quite good at arena at drafting. He definitely helps a lot. Sheep coming in round 1. I could think about 2 clay, but I think the first move here is just circus manager. Get it out of the way. HIKLJ subscribes with Twitch Prime for 7 months. Thank you very much. This says this is looking like it's going to be a fun one. Thanks. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I think this is looking like it could be quite good as well. I think a couple things to look out for. Can I get enough read? Can I get enough food? I feel like those are going to be the 2 things that are going to limit me. So can I get enough read? Can I get enough food? Those are the questions that I'm asking. But the ability to first action take resources, second action play an occupation, that should be quite strong. So we're going to go ahead and start it off right here by playing Tutor. 2 wood, 2 clay. Ah, those are boring. We're going to take 3 wood, 3 clay, 3 wood, and 4 clay. Oh, here's Field Watchman for Astaroth. So that explains some of what we got past. We got past some pretty good cards, but obviously not everything works with Field Watchman. Doe Academy playing Sunday School. So I hope Doe Academy does not have extensive resume. Because if Doe Academy has extensive resume, he has to use it with his first action next, well, first and only action next round. So that means, you know, he's gonna start player again, which is kind of a pain, but it's not guaranteed. But yeah, Sunday School gonna go around and allow everyone to play Ox pretty easily, which does lessen the value of Circus Manager somewhat, but if I'm just using Circus Manager like it's Patron, then that's totally fine. It's worse than Patron on my first occupation, but if I generally play an occupation every 2 rounds, then it's just Patron. Yeah, keep hoping that I'm gonna get that Traveling Player Circus Manager combo someday. Feel like it's been a while. I like playing a lot of occupations. I like playing Circus Manager, but I feel like I don't get the combos as often as I would like. So it looks like we're gonna get two reed hopefully. Two reed is would be great. If we get three wood, that's fine. Three wood is fine. Three wood into occupation wood collector would be okay. The Expend 9 says there's typically a lot of start playing from from a person in the tourney from what I've seen. Oh, I see. That there's someone who does like sits on start player a lot. Yeah. Whoops, I just removed them. I think it's because the quality of the actions overall is a little lower because the quality of the occupations is a little lower. There's more food available and less other stuff. Is that correct? Or is there more wood available? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how the tournament format works. Still trying to figure that out. Intel plowing here. That's unusual. I wonder if Intel has evening prayer. I could start player here. If I had something like Night Bazaar, I could start player here. No, I think I probably just take 3 wood. Better, cheaper, minor improvements for feeding. Yeah, I'm still trying to work out what my feelings are on the on that format. I'm obviously not doing that great. Like I think I've come second and third. I probably came last in one of the games. I haven't won one of them yet. I haven't played a lot of A, B, C, D generally, so it's a lot. Like it's pretty much a totally new format for me, but I'm still working on it. Dough Academy plays. So Storehouse Keeper, which we passed, and Bargaining Baker, which we did not. So Dough Academy, oh, interestingly, goes for Reedstone Food here instead of taking the clay. I thought maybe you'd grab the clay and go for Clay Oven, but instead we see Dough Academy Reedstone Food. Maybe planning to build the stone oven and saving a clay on it. That might be the thought process. Astaroth builds the first fireplace. With the sheep coming out, that's good. Reedstone Food is gone, so we're taking 3 wood. 3 wood into occupation wood collector, I think. Astaroth with 3 food fishing there. That's kind of an unusual move. There are there's a 3 wood action available. There'll be 2 4 wood actions, but I'm pretty sure this move is just wood collector. HIKLJ says it looks like I'm going to be going third or fourth a lot this game. Yeah, that might be the case. If Dough Academy really likes Reedstone Food, then, early on he's going to start player to get Reedstone Food. But, we're going into round 4, and I'm ready to build the first room, for example. And, I've got my almshouse, so my feeding is pretty set. We do want to remember that Borrower is out there. We would really like 2 reed. If Intel has clay roof, Intel will take 2 reed, or not take 2 reed. But if Intel doesn't have some way of doing that, Astaroth said 6 wood. No, there wasn't 6 wood available. That was weird. No, I think I put out the right amount. Oh, he's saying I put out too many wood. No, I think I'm good. I only put out 5. So Outrider from Intel. This is pretty interesting. Looks to me like he's signaling I'm gonna take. I'm gonna sow a grain. So he's probably got some payoff for sowing grain. 4 wood would be great, but there's 2 reed available, and nobody else can build a room. So 2 reed, considering I have almshouse, considering I have head of the family, considering I'm gonna pick up 1 wood next round. Yeah, it's a pretty easy 2 reed action for me. So if 3 wood could come back, that would be fantastic. I would really like to start player start player woodcart into 6 wood. That would be awesome. And then I could beg 4, and then I just have to play almshouse by the end of round 9. Ooh, Astaroth gonna start player house goat here. So there's not gonna be 6 wood passed to me. Do I just take 3 wood then? 3 wood, and then I can double build first action next round. Beg 4. And then let's see if it's family growth. No, it's not family growth. But that's okay. We don't need it to be family growth. Oh, and here's house goat for Astaroth. So, second move, I think I probably play Restless Father. I don't need to play Head of the Family yet. And Head of the Family doesn't work on my own spaces anyways. So still, nobody else is able to build a room. Yeah, nobody else is able to build a room. This is a case where I could sheep sweep theoretically. I could take 3 wood so that I can play wood cart. I want to see the almshouse because I cannot remember the text on the card. This is exactly where the extension that Maruska was referring to, or that Maruska's developed, is going to be useful. So we'll have to try to get that figured out. If I don't first action build a room, then I can't second action play Restless Father. And I think probably playing Restless Father is going to be quite good. Let's go ahead and 2D here. Single build versus double build? Definitely double build with head of the family in hand. And I'm happy to play start player. I would rather start player ahead of like build a room block. I have minors that I want to play, so. Astaroth plays Casino Manager. I am so happy that I drafted Woodcart. I am so very happy that I have Woodcart in hand. Because that's going to help me get the Casino Manager bonus. Go ahead, play an occupation here. We'll play Restless Father. So if family growth comes round 6, great. I play something like Pastureland. If it doesn't, I play something like, well, I could play woodcart. I do want to play woodcart at some point. Is the point? It's the big point. Dough Academy gonna build the clay oven here. I guess Intel didn't have any stone, so wasn't able to build the clay oven himself. Like Om's House, exactly. Yeah, that's a miner I'd be quite happy to play. Even something like Night Bazaar. Night Bazaar, the fact that it gets me a read just makes playing Om's House so much easier. Makes playing it way easier. Intel took grain and then forgot, or took 2 stone and a grain and then forgot to take the grain. So Intel probably that's weird. Yeah, Intel doesn't have enough. That would have made sense if Intel was building for the stone oven, but he can't build the stone oven. Not ahead of Dough Academy. Don't really get that move. Well, there's family growth. Um, yeah, we're in a pretty good spot. So I can't play woodcart, although I don't have to first action family growth, so I could. So I have a couple ways I can go here. I can first action 4 wood to set up woodcart on family growth, or I could start player to family growth, first action next round. And I would start player pastureland, for example. I guess the minor improvement comes after, so I could play abandoned willow. So I could start player. So the way we can do this is take 1 wood, play pastureland. Yeah, I think this works. And then family growth, the minor improvement is after. So I can family growth, trigger restless father, and then abandoned willow to get +4 wood. And then I can play woodcart in round 7. I do need to set up Om's House, but you know what? I don't have to play Om's House until round 9. If I could play it in round 7, it would give me 1 extra food. But I'm going to have 2 actions after my family growth that I think I'll be fine. I'm going to have 2 actions to get to 7. So I'm not feeling too bad. Feeding is so sketchy. I mean, I'm going to have 1 sheep, and I'm going to not be able to accommodate this boar. So just like taking clay and building the fireplace, like taking 4 clay and then building the cooking hearth, that's going to be a perfectly fine way for me to get my food. Although I guess that's not enough. Go ahead and play Abandoned Willow here. Dough Academy gonna build 2 rooms. Looks like Dough Academy's getting past 6 wood potentially. So that's kind of scary. Dough Academy's feeding is much better than mine. So that's something to be aware of. So the advantage I have is that I have much more access to building resources, at least to wood. So I have the jump on the casino manager bonus, but Dough Academy is ahead on feeding by quite a margin. Take the sheep. And then we'll go ahead and play woodcart here. Wood cart costing 3 wood. Not like my last tournament game where I tried to pay 2 wood for it. Oh, I guess I should show the cards I'm playing, eh? So what Pastureland does is not schnapps. Oh, what's the card? One food on the next 5 rounds. It's like Foreman, except it's a miner, and it's one sheep, boar, cattle in the next 3 spaces. And then at the start of the rounds, I pick a space to put it on, and then and then whoever takes it gets it. And then Abandoned Willow, turn an empty field into 4 wood, and it's passing. And then I played Woodcart. Woodcart gets me an extra 2 wood every time I take a wood action. And then Intel just played Miner Dinghy, which actually is fantastic here. That's a great card for Intel. Also super annoying for Doe Academy. Absinthe. Yes, thank you. That's what I was trying to come up with. This is where Borrower would have been a fantastic card to have. You know what? I screwed this up. I'm 1 food short. Oh, darn. Yeah, I'm 1 food short. So I take Reedstone food here, and then I have to day labor, and that means I can't accommodate the boar with my first move. Maybe I just put it on traveling players. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I guess I don't have to accommodate it at the start of the round, only when I take the action. So everyone else's feeding is way better than mine. So should I day labor or should I take traveling players? I would like to play traveling players. If I'm going to take clay and build a cooking hearth, then playing sheep farmer would be quite nice. I also need to play my almshouse. I have the resources for it now, so it's just a matter of dedicating the action. Intel plays Omni Farmer. Yeah, this card is pretty cool. It's a cool card. I think people try, like I certainly tried to make it work really hard when G4 G5 first starting getting played a lot, and then I realized just how much work it was, and it was just not. Well, we generally realized. I think we started to see the stats and saw, wow, this card is really overvalued. Yeah. So the great thing is I have 4 actions per round, starting in round 8. So yeah, I can dedicate 5 actions to feeding in the round 9 harvest and still be developing my game. So that's pretty handy. We'll just day labor, feed 7. The one dangerous thing about this is now the boar, placing the boar on traveling players makes it a really good spot to steal. Um, oh, on. Do I put it on start player? No, I think I put it on major minor. I don't want a first action major minor though. I think we're putting it on for clay. And hoping that it's going to come around. Only one player has a fireplace, and that's Astaroth. And Astaroth has stuff to do. Yeah, I could put it on 5 clay, but you know what? I want to challenge people. I want to make them choose between a boar which might be useless to them and a clay, which could be very, very valuable depending on their feeding situation. So Astaroth could take the 4 clay and the boar. And if they do that, then I go ahead and take 5 clay. Guys, I'm so dumb. I can't accommodate the boar. What am I doing? Yes, what am I doing? Oh, putting it on the clay was a huge mistake. Oh, geez, that was really poor. That was really poor. What am I doing? All right. So, yeah, we're hoping that it comes all the way around again. We're hoping that we can take cooking hearth and then take 4 clay and a boar, which that's hoping for a lot. That's hoping for a lot. Yeah, because Dough Academy is building the stone oven with this move. So major miner is not even available. Oh, yeah. What am I thinking? Thinking I could start player wild game, but that I need to accommodate the boar first. Oh, my first move should have been a way to make to hold the boar on my farm, like fence. Like I could honestly fence here, no problem. Oh, Intel just took 3 food traveling players. Hmm. Well, no, Dough Academy is going to Dough Academy is going to family growth. I'm a little surprised Intel didn't take it, but you know what? I can now make a plan to set up a 6 clay 1 boar action next round. So that's what the rest of this round is all about. It's setting up my 6 clay 1 boar move. So we'll take 3 wood, and then we'll fence, and then we'll take start player almshouse. I think that's what we're doing here. Take clay and then Reno. Yes, thank you. I am. Astaroth asked if I'm missing a field from my second growth, and I was. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Dough Academy, family growth plus a village school, and is already ready to build their 5th room. Two times 4 people versus 2 times 2. Oh, they're talking about amount of food. Dough Academy has 15 food for 4 people, and I have 0 food for 4 people. Yep. Well, I have a wild game. Yeah. No, 6 clay is fine because I'm gonna fence. My 2 actions here are fence and start player almshouse. And that gets my almshouse out, which I want to do, and it gets me 6 clay, which will give me a great cooking hearth action. And then if I don't get cooking hearth, I will start player wild game, and that gets me 5 food out of my boar, which puts me almost all the way there for feeding. So yeah, the fact that Intel took the traveling players there is pretty annoying. I definitely would have liked to have gotten 2 food out of traveling players. How are you already at 4 without playing head of the family? Well, none of my opponents wanted to build wood rooms, so I just built 2 wood rooms, and then in round 5, and then I double grew, and it was awesome. All right, so we're fencing here. Fencing not 10. What am I thinking? Not 10. Definitely not 10. Fencing 7 seems. Or what's this? This is 6 plus 3. This is 9. Fence 9. That accommodates 2 breeding pairs or 3 types of animals. And then start player almshouse. Remove my 4 beggars. And then... Oh, I have a couple cards. I have wild game. I pick up a cattle here. So like this action here is 6 clay, a boar, and a cattle. I'm not worried about my feeding. All I have to do is um, hit major minor or hit start player wild game. I'm not worried about my feeding. So Academy says I figured you might have that. Yeah, when I beg 4 in round 1, yeah, or in stage 4 or stage 1. Yep. So yeah, building a cooking hearth and then getting one of these pairs of animals would be awesome. I would be really happy with that sequence. And then now the play is fencing 15 and building 4 stables, and all the meanwhile feeding reasonably well, and then play out the rest of my occupations for points. Yeah, Doe's having a nice game. Doe's feeding is extremely efficient, which is very good. Okay, so Intel playing bakery there is a bit of a problem. So Intel, why are neither Intel nor Astaroth trying to grow? Great question, and I unfortunately cannot answer that one. Um, Both the read actions got taken, so Reno is no longer available. So that means I cannot build a cooking hearth. So that means I'm feeding with wild game for 5 food, plus picking up 3 raw grain. So, or 3 raw food. So I definitely need to hit day labor and probably fishing, or day labor and traveling players. So that stinks, but I have so many actions that it's mitigated by quite a bit. Um, so what should I do here? This kind of leaves me open to getting blocked really hard, but no, you know what? I should start player here. If I don't start player here, I am starving. I am absolutely starving. Maybe that's what they were thinking. They were thinking, aha, we're going to starve him, not remembering that I have cards that help mitigate the starvation. So my last 2 moves have to just be grubbing for food, which is unfortunate. This game is definitely getting hampered by my opponents taking food instead of building rooms. Because, yeah, Sid correctly points out, why are neither Intel nor Astaroth trying to grow? Yeah, they're not trying to grow, which means they're not competing for the grow spaces, which Doe Academy and I are taking, but instead they're competing with me for the food actions. Um, yeah, and Doe Academy drafted a really good food engine. Storehouse Keeper, Bargaining Baker built both ovens. Really fantastic. And Family Gross again. So Doe Academy is going to hit 5 family members in round 10. And Intel and Astaroth are not trying to grow for some reason. Yeah. I still need to spend all my actions feeding. Yep, you're right about that. And it sucks, but not much I can do about that. Unfortunately, Intel decided to start the first action. I don't know why major minor bakery instead of start player bakery. That I guess it's just trying to starve me. Okay. Seems weird, but it's fine. Maybe Astaroth will take sheep here. I don't know. I don't know. I'm having a hard time predicting what these guys are doing. Do they both see Grump or something? Like Intel passed Astaroth Grump and they're both playing around it? I don't know. in general, um, it's really difficult to win this game without getting more actions. So the reason that family growth is so important is because you gain actions for the rest of the game, and the more actions you have, the more points you can get. What I think, and I think Intel and Astaroth are both missing out on that fact. Like maybe they might score like 43, 44, and be like, well, this is a really, oh, it's 43, 44. I scored okay. But the thing is, Doe Academy and I are probably going to score in the 50s because we've been allowed to grow so easily, assuming we can get our feeding sorted out. Doe Academy's got his feeding sorted out. It's a question of whether I can. And once my feeding is sorted, I'm going to jump way ahead as well. Take fishing. Feed 8. And we'll go ahead and grab... You know what? We do need food. So as much as it pains me to pass 6 wood here, I think taking the food is quite important. And I'll take the sheep because I do have sheep farmer. So I can turn these sheep into, a breeding pair of cattle or whatever. Not growing because of Grump is. Yeah, no, I don't think that's a good reason. I'm just trying to assume that what I always try to do is assume that what my opponents are doing is good and correct, and then infer what their game plan is based on that information. Astaroth is going to start play a reed exchange here to set up a double build. Okay. Giving Doe 6 wood is really rough. Yes, yes, it is really rough, but I need food. Like how can I do anything without getting the food, right? And I feel like I need to major minor here and get the cooking hearth out, just because if I get denied this cooking hearth again, my game is just over. Just full on over. I don't know if his feeding will suck. It'll slow down a bit, but I think what I need to make sure is I need to make sure I get the casino manager bonus and Doe Academy does not, and that might be enough of a difference. That might be enough of a difference between the two of us. Doe Academy plays Animal Tamer. I can always reno with Pottery. Yep. Yeah, or I can play Reed Exchange. I've got some options. Intel is totally foregoing building a room, it looks like. Which I'm... Maybe Intel went all in. Oh, yeah, 3 boar, yeah, 100%. Definitely. I wonder if Intel was really planning on feeding with an oven, and then when Intel did not get an oven because Doe Academy grabbed both of them with Bargaining Baker, just kind of gave up on the game. That's my assumption of what's going on here. That's kind of the only way that I can really rationalize this. So we got to eat our cattle, but that's fine, and then we'll eat one of our sheep as well. So our feeding is all set for the next harvest now, and then we can last action play sheep farmer, for example, or racing stable manager. I have no wood, so sheep farmer, not racing stable manager. Therapist Wolfie asks, is this being played on a web browser? Yes. Yeah, so I play on Play-agricola.com. Yes, we need exclamation mark play. I have all these ideas. I'm getting ideas for chat commands. I've been watching Baba Yetu stream, and he uses them really well. And that's something I'm interested in learning more about and taking advantage of. So I'll play Sheep Farmer here, It lets us turn our 3 sheep into more boar if we want to eat them. But really, it lets us take the 1 sheep space, and it's a 4 food action. That's the number one reason I'm playing sheep farmer here, is a 4 food recurring 4 food action that my opponents will not care to use, because 1 sheep is a bad one. Do I ever play on Tabletop Simulator? I have never played on Tabletop Simulator, unfortunately. Don't own it on Steam. Definitely, I haven't tried Agricola on there, and I haven't tried any other board games. I like playing on Boîte à Jeux, and I like playing on Board Game Arena. Boîte à Jeux is also EIK only. Board Game Arena does not have Agricola, but it has other games. It has like Puerto Rico and Seven Wonders and um, Terra Mystica, which are some of my favorite games. Is there an active Agricola on community on Tabletop Simulator? 2 cattle would be awesome here. Unfortunately, I think I have to pass it to Doe and take the wood here, because if I don't start taking wood, I'm just not going to have enough wood at the end of the game for Casino Manager. And passing Doe Academy 2 cattle move sucks, but yeah, I love Terra Mystica too. Sid says Play-agricola is basically a better version of Tabletop Simulator for Agricola, I think. It gives you the board, but it has more cards and has auto-refreshing. And it handles the draft very smoothly. Yeah, it's similar principle in that you get to do you have to manually do all the stuff that you're trying to do. Intel plays. Womp womp womp. Where's that? Do we need a trombone sound here? Is that going out? Can you guys hear that? I turned my desktop audio on, but it doesn't seem like it's grabbing it. It's really quiet. Womp, 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 womp. Should I take 2 wood again? Or should I plow a field here? 2 wood doesn't get me towards Casino Manager, but plowing a field is good as well. Probably we should take 2 wood. I think our aim of the game now is to hoard all the wood in the game. Here, barely. Intel, yeah, so the guest room, yeah, so we could see what was happening. Intel was setting up a big guest room play with the grain from Outrider. But Doe Academy took both of the ovens, so then Intel had to give up on guest room. I still think playing guest room this late is probably incorrect. I think, probably should have just gone, you take your lumps and you go for a wood room, but oh well. Solo campaign is a good thing on Tabletop Simulator. The app also does that and has GDeck. Certainly there's a large player base for Agricola specifically. There are some workshops that have created automated versions of the game. Oh, cool. Yeah, I haven't actually tried playing like sound effects. I literally just pulled... Normally I keep my Windows sounds muted. And because I keep the Windows sounds muted, I just... you guys can't hear them. What should we do? I kind of want to play Head of the Family here. I also want to plow a field. I also want to reedstone food into Reno. We're starting to run out of reedstone. We're starting to run out of time to Reno. So I think reedstone food into Reno makes sense here. It would be nice to get more plows out. I do get a plow from... I'm going to get 1 plow from Racing Stable Manager, and I'm going to get 1 plow from Restless Father. So I think we're doing okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't highlight these cards here. Got distracted. So Astaroth played Harvest Totem, which gets him Boar whenever he plays an occupation. Don't imagine he has a lot of occupations left to play. Oh man, I missed this. Intel built the pottery. So my Reedstone food action is looking less good now because I can't go ahead and build the pottery. I could build the joinery. I could also try to set up a stone oven, but I could play something else. Like I could play Reed Exchange or Night Bazaar. I could also Racing Stable Manager here and use that as a way to plow, an alternative way to plow. Either way, I think Reno with this next action is not great, so we're going to do something different. I think plowing makes sense. And then we eat a boar, a sheep, and 3 food. How often do I stream? Oh, also Doe has to have quarry, right? Or maybe like Swan Lake or something. Did we pass Melon Patch? I think Melon Patch was his first pick miner. I don't think we passed Melon Patch. How often do I stream? I usually stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and then Saturday, Sunday, and then sometimes on Monday. And I usually just do one game. And the time kind of fluctuates because it really depends on where. Oh, apiary, of course. I forgot about apiary. The timing depends on when. You may sow one field. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it works okay. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but because it does say sow one field, but I mean, melon patch is treated like a field. It's just not a field tile. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I stream. Usually try to stream like 3 or 4 times a week. Um, I have all my like pretty much every video I've ever done backed up on a YouTube channel, and this is where I put exclamation mark YouTube in chat, and it's got the link there for you. I think 2 sheep over a plow might have been better. Lets you convert the sheep to cows and then breed them. Hmm. I can still do that here in this round. Yeah, I don't really stream too much else. I would say I don't have particular expertise in any other game. That's one of the reasons that I don't stream anything else really. So I fenced 9. I need another 6 defense 15. So I have 3 wood remaining for farm stable, or not farm stable, for going for casino manager. Looks like it's going to be hard for these guys to beat me if I fence 15 and get like 2 stables out. So I think what we do here is we start player Night Bazaar. Sets us up for a first action plow sow in round 13 or a first action family growth restless trigger restless father. Yeah, I'm not. What am I saying? I'm not going to plow sow. I don't have any crops. But we'll go ahead and pick up a stone so that we can build the well, and then we'll pick up a wood, I think. 1 stone, 1 wood. I don't think there's any reason for us to take anything else. Unless we wanted to take something for Basket Maker's Workshop. That would be the only reason. There are a lot. Oh yeah, yeah. And if you're not watching me, I try to host all the people in Stone. I try to host all the people that play regularly um, on this channel. So yeah, Doe Academy streams, who I'm playing against right now. Montu, Maruska, Alexandria sometimes, Lumen, yeah. Sanswall, yeah. A list, yeah, not the list, just A list. So it looks like the Well's coming back. So Reno plus Well looks like a pretty strong play. Let's see your Wells, guys. Yes, mine and Pop. I feel like mine and Poppin is a bot that's programmed to hear, not even just hear me say the well, because sometimes you beat me to saying it. Um, yeah. Feels like you wrote a script that whenever you see the well gets played in a game that I'm in, that it automatically puts that in. I'm surprised Doe didn't build the well. Yeah, me too. Considering that he's got the village school, but maybe he's prioritizing a 5-room stone house higher. And if he's prioritizing a 5-room stone house higher, maybe that means he has like half timbered house or mansion, but we didn't pass either of those. There was there a house builder in the draft, or am I thinking of a different game? We might have passed the card that says if you have 5 rooms, build a 6th room. We might have passed that card. In which case, it would make sense, and if Doe Academy has it, it would make sense for him to prioritize getting to a house. What house? Did I pass Bargaining Baker? No, that was his first pick. Um, Probably fence here. It puts a lot of pressure on the rest of the game defense, and then I have the option to Racing Stable Manager with my last move. Fence 6. Um, so I could take wood here. Wood would lock up the stables, or I play Racing Stable Manager. I think probably playing Racing Stable Manager is more important than the wood action, because I still can actually play it. I still can actually take the wood later. That's still an option for me. So I think Racing Stable Manager makes sense here. I think denying Doe the wood might have been better. Because I'm gonna pass Doe 5 wood here. But you know what? I'm giving Doe a tough choice no matter what. Doe needs another clay, which he can get with Village School. He's gonna have the option of plow sow, and 2 cattle he won't take, which means 2 cattle might come back to me. Um, yeah, I think we're doing okay. I'm very likely to get 2 wood with late move next round, and then I just do 3 stables plus a field. There's basically no way someone can hit 15 fences plus 8 stables at this point in the game, not without a card like Woodcart, which I happen to have. Why not play Head of the Family and open with 2 cattle, 5 wood, or plow sow? Um, I actually want to. Yeah, I guess Doe Academy doesn't care about family growth, but I kind of feel like the field is worth it. Yeah, I think the field is better. Not to mention the fact that this also gives me the option to stable again in round 14 for another 3-point move. Yeah, and that's what I'm doing from this point on. Is I'm just trying to make sure that Doe doesn't fence too well. As long as Doe doesn't fence too well, I think I'm feeling okay. And he just played Tavern, which is kind of surprising to me. Because Tavern is a. I guess he's got a card still for Village School. I should ask. How many cards left in hand? I guess if it's not too expensive with village school, then you can keep tossing stuff. He's tossed 3 cards so far. So he can toss on each of his renos. He can toss on fencing. Hmm. Yeah, there's going to be a good wood action for Doe Academy either way. But if he first action takes 5 wood, then maybe he only gets to 2 or 3 fields, right? Whereas this way, like, I'm going to really fill up my farm quite nicely. So 2 cattle will come back, and if it doesn't, 4 wood should come back, and I still have the option to do something like start player. Doe gets the 5 wood. Intel probably takes the cattle here. Although Intel can't afford to breed all 3 pairs. Yeah, I feel like there's some diminishing returns for Intel, but I guess he can just breed onto Omni Farmer. I can't say that I've played. Can't say I've played that one. Is that is that a good one? Is it a worker placement game, or how does that work? Man, Plauso came all the way back. That's a thing. Um, I'm pretty sure we're taking wood here to set up our stable move, and then maybe taking 1 sheep, which we turn into. Theoretically, we could turn into a breeding pair of cattle. Or is my favorite of his games. It's a little more in depth with resources, I think, than Agricola. Highly recommend it. Yeah, Le Havre is one of the ones I've heard about a lot too, and haven't tried it out. You know what? I'm honestly, guys, I'm a pretty big. Um, I'm very inexperienced in terms of board games. I love them, but I've played very few, and the ones that I play, I've generally like pulled out the big ones. I've pulled out like the best, some of the best ones on Board Game Geek, and then I just like have played those a lot. Like we've just got Terraforming Mars like a month or 2 ago. We've been playing that a lot. I've played a lot of Puerto Rico. I've played a lot of Seven Wonders. I've played thousands of games of Agricola. Well, not thousands, maybe 2,000 at most, but that's still a lot. I'm not one that like jumps around a lot. I have to say, I kind of have my couple that I really enjoy, and I've grinded those a lot. Splotter. I'm not familiar with that archetype. Yeah, I love Terraforming Mars. Yeah, we've really enjoyed it, and it works nicely with 3 players, which we enjoy. Um, yeah, I'm not very good at it. I definitely like. I have a hard time with the mid game objectives. Like I'm pretty good at making short term tactical decisions, weighing the positive and negatives, and I think I'm okay at seeing what my long term strategy should be generally. But like mid game objectives, I think I'm not very good at, and that's definitely hurt me in that game. I think in particular. Should I stables here, or should I take the 1 sheep? I think I'm gonna stables with this move. And then I should get the sheep back. Pay a food and plow. Terraforming has that. Yeah. Yeah, that is an element for sure. The cards that you get, um, the cards that you get obviously have a huge impact on what you're able to do. That's definitely true. Yeah, I think that's true. You're trying to get a card drawing ability, but certainly we like if you don't set up your early games, like if there's someone who can pull off like setting up an engine pretty early on, that's also an extremely strategy. Seems like a pretty good strategy, at least from what we've seen. Bit better with Prelude and Colony, so some expansions. Yeah, we haven't moved on to those yet. Yeah. So it looks like Doe Academy is gonna get the Basket Makers Workshop and seems to have time to dedicate to his tavern. Wow. I guess that's what happens when you have that many actions. Cool. Yeah. Feel. Hope you come back and share it, Wolfie. Um. Lumen's good at every game. That's just what I've realized. Lumen is great at every game. He's a competitive Settlers of Catan player. Astaroth plays Henkeeper. He needs his grain though. I guess you put what 3 on harvest 3, and then you try to get a sow again next round. I could take a grain here, or I could take sheep. If I take sheep here, it's like 2 cattle. I can convert over to 2 cattle, right? Because I get 2, and then I convert 6 to 2 cattle and 2 boar, and then I eat the 2 boar. Being able to use a plow sow action would be nice, but I'm pretty sure we're going to see Intel or Astaroth take it. Yeah. And then I feed 9, breed the cattle, breed the boar. Taking a grain does cost a food. Yeah, one of the issues is my game group. We're pretty competitive, and we're we all like to think we're pretty smart. So we really like kind of trying to dig our claws into a game and like trying to really figure out how it works and how to be really good at it. And what it means is that we don't generally spend a lot of time jumping around to different games. We kind of like get one and then like try to go all in on it a little bit. Jump around too much, probably. I mean, it depends, right? Like, I don't have a regular board gaming group, for example. Um, like, I just play with my 2 roommates, and so it's the 3 of us, and it's the 3 of us for every game, right? So the 3 of us, like, we have to have something that's we're all reasonably good at. That where there's not like too much of a disparity in skill. Like for example, they won't play Agricola with me, which is fine because like I have just a huge amount of experience lead over them. You know, which is okay. Like I get it. Um, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it could cost a lot of money too if you're buying a lot of board games. Like I like if I'm gonna buy something, if I'm gonna spend 60, $70 on something, you know, how much did I spend on Terraforming Mars? Was it $50? 50 Canadian? I don't remember exactly how much it was. But it's like if I'm gonna spend that much, I wanna get, you know, at least 12, 13 hours out of it. And I mean we've gone past that already. Like that's like what, 6, 7 plays. We went through that in like 3 weeks. But yeah, I am fortunate that I have like it seems like one of the best Canadian board game stores is near me. Like it's in the same city I live, and it's actually close to my work, so it's like it's pretty awesome that I get to shop there. What are we doing? Board kind of sucks. Do we just take the sheep because it's got 2 points and it's a 2 point and two food action? I think that's all we're doing probably. Oh, it's yeah. If you want to follow me on Twitter, awesome. I don't use it a whole lot. Um, I mostly tweet about. I tweet about the stuff that I don't have. What I like tweeting about is stuff that I don't have people to talk to about. So I don't really tweet about board games because the two my two friends I live with, they're both board gamers. I usually tweet about or mostly retweet stuff about the Leafs because I'm a big Maple Leaf fan, and I like the Leafs because I'm a sucker. And anime, tweet about or like retweet stuff about anime a bit. And I retweet my one friend who lives in California and he only tweets when he's drunk. It's always really entertaining because none of his tweets ever make sense. Look at Intel with his two guest tokens. Game got pretty loose during this discussion. Uh yeah, I mean I feel like I probably could have planned out a bit of a better final uh finale to this game, but I don't know. It's gonna come down to do I get enough 2 point actions? Like that's probably what it ultimately comes back down to. So we're gonna grab vegetable here. I would really like for Doe Academy to fence so I can steal two boar from him. Yeah, because he doesn't. I guess he doesn't mind throwing away a cattle and holding two boar because he breeds them both back. I don't know. I need points, 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 points. You're late. I mean, you were here when I played the well. That's okay. I enjoy. You know what? This game. Like I'm at the point where I've played this game so much that I don't need to be thinking really aggressively about every move, and so I really enjoy having people to share the game with, and talking to you guys is fun. I enjoy doing that. It helps. I stream way more when like the chat being more active, like in the last kind of year or so, has made a big difference. We've kind of got a bit of a Twitch community generally around the site, which I think is awesome. I think I take the boar here, and I won't eat them yet because I don't have to. But the boar are probably a point. And then I think I take grain, and then taking a food and a point might be an okay move, because playing head of the family would be 1 point for tutor. How do I want to feed? Like, I could very easily just eat 2 boar. And so that's eating a point. So that's probably the best I'm getting. I could also take wood and build a stable and then plow a field. That's a 3 point sequence. So 3 point sequence is probably as good as I'm getting. Um, yeah. I mean, taking playing head of the family. That's a 3 point sequence too. Like everything at this point is a 3 point move. Is basically 3 points. Like I just have a lot that I can do here. Seems like we can win here. Yeah, tutor's helping for sure. Um, uh, Doe Academy is going to end with a lot of points. A well bot. Have a good day, Wolfie. Um, am I taking grain here? So my stable move is useless if I get stable blocked by Doe Academy. So I do also have farm stable I can play. Yeah, basically I have 3 points no matter what. So we'll just go ahead, take a grain. Pay Astaroth the food. That's funny. If you do have a script, I just hope it's not putting too much strain on the Play-agricola servers. Because Chris funds those, I think pretty much out of his own pocket. And we really appreciate everything that he's done for the game and the community. We should do a game via Discord at some point. Yeah, we should. The last time I did a Discord game, I didn't have this headset. So I've gone through so many headsets. It's actually kind of a really irritating. I've gone through so many headsets. Play farm stable here, I think, for a point. 4 food 2-0. I pretty much like have to get a new headset every year, and it was okay for a bit because what I was doing is I was buying like a kind of a mid-range headset, and then when it would break after a year, I just complained to the manufacturer, and then they'd send me another headset, which would last me another year. And so it's like, okay, if I'm buying a headset every 2 years, that's not so bad, especially considering how much I was using it at the time. I was playing like huge numbers of spending hours and hours and hours playing games. But the last time I did a Discord game, which I think was with Damba, and I don't remember who else was in the game, but I didn't have the headset at the time. So what I was using is I was using my old broken headset, which the mic still worked, but then trying to use also 3 for casino. Thank you. Good point. But then I was using not not iPod, but just earbuds, and but they were like they had to go into the actual like big part of the computer, which is down below, and so I was like, it was really not very comfortable because I was sitting, I was not able to sit properly, and I didn't have the audio balanced right or anything, and that's like pretty important. So I have whatever I score plus 8. So yeah, I don't think we're beating Doe Academy. Because Doe Academy, it says he's at 53, so 50 looks like a 50 final for me. Whoops. Well, I'm not too upset. Yeah. I'm not too upset. I first picked head of the family. Uh, I'm not too upset about this. I first picked head of the family. Head of the family is good at dealing with contentious games where there's a lot of pressure on family growth, and I kind of built around it. And then Intel and Astaroth decided to not pressure family growth at all, and so then Doe Academy, who did not build around family growth being pressured, but who built around setting up a really solid feeding engine, and did decide to use family growth a lot, was able to just get a huge margin of victory because of that. So I'm not worried about it. Intel crushed you with that block also. Yes, yeah. Intel building the playing the bakery destroy it was also really brutal. Um, yeah, I needed to wood block more. Yeah, I mean, Dog Academy got to 14 wood and was able to play Tavern. The problem was he just had five. He had five family members in decent feeding. Like it's just really, really crushing, unfortunately. And you know what? I'm missing points out of this farm. Like I'm missing one more stable and another field, so that's 3 points. And I have my crop score is pathetic. Um, my crop score is pathetic. I should have more points out of crop. So you can see there are more points available for me, but really what I needed is for Doe Academy to just have fewer points, right? The fact that Doe Academy got 6 points out of his tavern is like gross. Um, needed to woodblock more. I still do not understand why Intel played it on major, not star player. Tilted, yeah. The thing is, if you're tilted, why are you going after me? Like, yes, I grew round 6, round 7. Doe Academy is the person who took both of your ovens. Doe Academy is the person who is benefiting the most from you playing totally uncompetitively. Yeah. And Astaroth didn't grow. Like, he double built, so great, awesome. You double built. That's fantastic. Astaroth didn't grow until after Doe Academy was done all of his growing. Like, I grew around 6, 7, and then Doe grew around 8, 9, 10. And the person who grew 3 times in a row beats the person who grew 2 times in a row if their feeding is way better. And Doe Academy's feeding was way better. How many times did I have to do a 2 food day labor action? That's a sign of how bad that's just what happens, right? So, sometimes people are going to do random stuff, weird stuff, and, I can't control that, unfortunately. So, try to assume that what your opponents are doing is good, but it will not always be. And at the end of the game, I think we can say that a 35-point farm, it did not work out the way they expected to. What did Astaroth end with? 36? Yeah. So you could see there's kind of two tiers of players. It was me and it was Doe Academy and it was Intel and Astaroth. And I mean, to be fair, Doe Academy had to play well still. Like he had to actually build the clay oven, stone oven, and discard all the right stuff and plan out his farm really nicely. So that's okay. We'll take a quick look at the draft, I guess. See what see where like cards like Restless Father sit in. But yeah, sometimes you first pick a really good card and then it's a terrible game for that card and you can't win. And if that's the case. But that's not going to usually happen. So, you know, I'm not too worried about it. So head of the family here over Storehouse Keeper. Storehouse Keeper has a much higher power, but it's drafted 2 positions later. So head of the family, yeah, best card there. Circus Manager, actually tied with Wood Collector on power. Wood Collector is undervalued. Should not be going this late, I don't think. Tutor here feels justified. Restless Father seems great. So I took Sheep Farmer here ahead of Cocotte. I think with head of the family, Sheep Farmer makes a lot of sense. Wood Collector is great. So yeah, I had good cards, pretty good synergy. Pasture Land worked nicely, helped me get a bunch of food. Almshouse, great. So Almshouse over Apiary, that's maybe not a great move there. But it's hard to argue against Alms House when I have Head of the Family. Like with Head of the Family, I wanted to build a fireplace, but then with Alms House, it was like, well, I guess I don't need to. I can dedicate my game to double building and growing, you know. Yeah. Apiary is really good. Woodcart, taken ahead of Extensive Resume. Looks like it's a bit stronger card. And Village School. Yeah. Both higher powers. If I had known about Casino Manager, I'd say Woodcart's a slam dunk pick. The fact that I didn't know about Casino Manager, maybe I should have taken one of the other two cards. They got Farm Stable here, which is great. Night Bazaar here over Field and Guest. Maybe I should have taken Field, but I don't know. Night Bazaar was kind of cool to get me the well. And I took Abandoned Willow, which maybe you can say I should have taken something else. Wild Game, yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure what I should have done. So I think it was just the game that got through. Got through. Doe Academy says the other players really handed me a lot that game. Really screwed you over as well. I had no business being able to grow 3 times in a row with that much food. Yep. Yes. The answer is just yes. That's just the answer. Yes. Village School. Oh, Doe Academy in chat says Village School was insane with all the passing minors. Yeah, and you used it well. You had a really high point ceiling. The fact that you got on Tavern a couple times was awesome. Like when you played Tavern, I was like, oh, cool. You know, you're actually going to use it for the 2 points a couple times. Like that's how many moves you had, which is pretty gross. You had a lot of actions. Yeah. And I think basically what happens is Intel decided to throw and he didn't get either oven. He decided guest room, build around guest room, try to get an oven going. Yeah. Thing is, Intel could have got the first room, or he could have gone for the sheep. He didn't have to go all in on the ovens. Like sheep came in round 1 and he got 2 clay, didn't he? Like, yeah, I don't think that was very good. And then Astaroth was I think Astaroth is just like lacking in experience a bit. Still, yeah. All right. Well, guys, that's going to be all for me. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you have enjoyed this little video. I will stream tomorrow. Yeah. Probably tomorrow earlier than I started today, sometime in the afternoon. Yeah, certainly with that bargaining baker. That bargaining baker was excellent. So my first pick was Head of the Family, Doe Academy. So, I drafted and built around a card that lets me deal with when actions around the family growth queue are really contentious. And in this game, there was 0 contention around the family growth queue. So, that happens. But yeah, I'll stream tomorrow, probably in the afternoon sometime. Yeah, so look for me then. And we'll see you next time. Bye.